iconic yet strangely unavailable Suntory Kakubin. What's it like, and should you try to get one of these? Stay tuned for the Whisky Whistle. Greetings, my whiskey people. Mark here for Whisky Whistle on YouTube, sharing a little bit of whiskey awesomeness from South Korea, bringing you Suntory Kakubin. It's called Kakubin because Kakubin means turtle, and you can see the turtle shell. I couldn't quite say that. The turtle shell. I still can't say it. The turtle shell style bottle that you see. So pretty cool. It's 40%. And it's a great blend of 3 whiskeys, Yamazaki, Hakushu, and Chita from Suntory Distillery. Suntory Distillers, there we go. Let's get that poured. I got this on sale for 33,000 won here in Korea. And great value. I would say that if I just give this a preemptive little comment, this is better than the bulk of 12-year-old whiskeys for blended Scotch whiskeys. It's better than some entry-level, no age-stated single malt whiskeys, and quite a nice whiskey. There is some batch variation, which I'll talk about, but let's get into this. So here on Whisky Whistle, don't forget, first you should subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, do that now. Did you subscribe? Great. Okay. And don't forget to check out the Whisky Whistle Patreon channel, the Whisky Whistle crew. Did you check it out? Great. Okay, so we'll check out the nose, the palate, and the whiskey for Suntory Kakubin. And then I'm going to make a simple whiskey highball, a Japanese-style whiskey highball, perfect in time for summer. So we'll check that out together, okay? The color, let's check that out together. As I mentioned, in Korea, we have quite a great labeling policy. And what do we see here? It says whiskey Wonek 100%, which would tell me there's no added color. Sometimes some whiskeys can seem to get by with that. Anyway, so nice rich color. Let's check the nose out together. Waxy, honey, I think there's a lot of hakushu in here, and some chita that's been aged in some very nice casks. I'd say it's predominantly bourbon cask matured, but there is at least a little teensy-weensy amount of sherried Yamazaki in here. And from my tastings, it's actually quite difficult to tell how much malt and how much grain whiskey from Chita there is. But when you think about Japanese consumers, they're quite fussy. And this being the most popular blended whiskey in Japan, second being Nikka, they really can't mess around with that malt content too much. Honeyed, waxy, and sweet. It's very, very subtle. The palate. Cheers, folks. Sweet, candy-like palate. You get a little hint of the cheetah, the grain whiskey, at the end of the palate and into the finish. There's a little bit of a bitter, newspapery note. Not terrible, but I can tell it's there. What is it that I like about this? It's sweet. It's well formulated. And when you first sip it, you really can't tell the difference between the grain and the malt. I mentioned the batch variation though. This is my second bottle of Suntory in almost as many weeks. My wife and one of her best friends, they really enjoy making long drinks with the Suntory Kakubin. And the last bottle that I had was quite a bit better than this one. This is still very good, but you've got to watch out for the batch variation. I mean, thankfully the price is such that, you know, you just have to decide, okay, well, this one's a little bit more malty. I'll sip it. This one's a little bit more grainy and a little bit more rough. I'll mix it. That would be my recommendation. But beautiful nose. Definitely exotic. It's got that Asian whiskey scent to it. Right off the bat, am I getting a bit of Mizunara oak? I think so. Even if it's refilled, it's there. Sweet, delicious, great for an after dinner drink. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. I want to try adding just a little bit of water to this. Let's start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 drops. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A little bit less than 1 milliliter. Let that do its thing. Waxier. In a way, the nose reminds me of whatchamacallit, the William Grant & Sons blended malt whiskey. Drawing a blank. Monkey shoulder. There we go. The nose reminds me a lot of monkey shoulder. Sweet, waxy, fruity, bubblegummy, sweet pear. Pear drops. All right, the palate with water. You add water, and amazingly, it's sweeter and maltier. I think we've got about 50-50, 50% malt, 50% grain. It could be 40-60, 60% grain, but a healthy amount of malted whiskey and good quality the cheetah single grain whiskey from Suntory that's been matured, well matured in decent casks. amazingly better with water, even though it's 40%. You would think that is the drinking strength, but it isn't. And it's not meant to be drunk the way I'm drinking it, just so you know. But you totally can. And it's going to save you a lot of money for some great bottles by having a $30 bottle like this on your shelf. Pears and apples. Sweet pears, sweet apples. Those are the two most favorite fruits. Is that what I wanted to say? What am I trying to say here? The two fruits that are the favorite of Koreans and probably also Japanese are apples and pears. I suggest you try that with water. Let me give that a Whisky Whistle whiskey score right now before we carry on. So for Suntory Kakubin, Japanese blended whiskey with Yamazaki, Hakushu, and Chita, and nothing else. What is that going to be, folks? It's going to be 81 out of 100. You heard it, 81 out of 100 is the Whisky Whistle whiskey score for this very humble and simple bottle of Japanese whiskey. It's their best selling, and there's a good reason for that. It's got a name on there. I can't read it, but I wanted to thank that person. Unfortunately, I can't. But to the people at Suntory, keep it up and start pushing the rest of Beam Suntory to follow suit. I think this is a whiskey that should be on every shelf around the world if you've got the production for that. So 81 out of 100. Bursting with apples, sweet apples with that 1 little milliliter of water added. Beautiful. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Check me out on Patreon, and take care. You do about 2 ounces into your long glass. Okay, 2 ounces. Then you want to really chill it down. You want to get that nice and cold.